Hello students, good morning. See on first class what we have seen, some definitions, Newton's laws, and one theorem we proved what equilibrium law of force. Now we are going to see one theorem, state and prove triangle law of force. See girls, every named theorem in statics, every named theorem are very important. Uh, you see this triangle law of force. This is a statement. If three forces acting at a particle are represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of triangle taken in order, then they are in equilibrium. What we have to prove means if three forces, for example, if you are taking F1, F2, F3, that should be in order, and that should be in equilibrium. That is F1, what we have to prove means F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equal to 0. We can represent in magnitude, and that we can represent it in we are represented in magnitude and direction. That means we can change the sign and the direction also. You see this. Next we will go for proof. You see the proof. Let F1, F2, F3 at a point be represented in magnitude and direction of AB, BC and CA. You see the diagram. What F1, F2 and F3 we are taking as assuming F1, F2, F3 are represented in magnitude and direction. You see the diagram. Diagram girls, see AB we are taking as F1 and BC as F2 and CA as F3 we are taking. So what we are saying means F1, F2, F3 represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of AB, BC, CA of triangle ABC. Therefore, what you are getting that means it means what F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equal to AB plus BC plus CA. Okay girls, F1 means AB and F2 means BC and F3 means CA. So what you are getting F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equal to AB plus BC plus CA. We know AB plus BC is equal to AC. See in diagram only you see AB plus BC, that is equal to AC, we can do AC. So AB plus BC is equal to AC. AC plus CA. Next AC, you can change the what we can change magnitude and direction. Statement only I said before, if we change magnitude and direction, plus is minus and CA as AC. Therefore, what will get AC minus AC is equal to 0. Therefore, F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equal to 0. Therefore, the force are in equilibrium. What we have to prove means if we add if we had F1, the forces are in magnitude and direction means you will get as 0. That F1 plus F2 is equal to 0. Next what we have proved that next what we have to prove means see the next state the theorem state and prove converse of triangle. Converse means opposite, that is we have what from first for theorem is there no more triangle of forces, that opposite we have to prove. That means from last to first, that is triangle law of force to last to first we have to prove. You see the statement. If three forces are acting at a point or in equilibrium, then they can be represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of a triangle taken in order. As I said no before itself, the triangle of forces that converse from first to last means last to first we have to prove. First what in that what we proved, last what we proved, the F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equal to 0. That we have to prove. Here we are taking this as we are assuming that one as first one. You see the proof. First you see the diagram. F1, F2, F3 acting at a point or in equilibrium. That is F1, this one, F2 and F3 acting at a particle or in equilibrium. That is F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equal to 0. Next, what we are assuming, F1 and F2 can be represented in magnitude and direction by AB and BD by the parallelogram ABCD. See here we are using as dummy this one AB, BD and AB and BD. We are assuming F1 and F2 by the direction how? See AB and BD by the parallelogram law of force. ABCD by the parallelogram force. What we are doing, AB and BD. We are taking as AB and BD as F1 and F2. By parallelogram law of force, the resultant of F1 and F2 is AD. By the law of force, by the parallelogram law of force, what the result for F1 and F2 is AD. See, for F1 and F2 is AD. This one, F1 plus F2 is equal to AD. You keep it this one as equation number 1. Next, see, by given what we are assuming first, F1 plus F2 plus F3 is equal to 0 we are assuming. So what they have given, F1 plus F2 is equal to 0. And then what you will get, F1 plus F, you can write it as F1 plus F2 is equal to minus F3, you can write, no? So F1 plus F2 is equal to minus F3, and we know that F1 plus F2 is equal to AD is equal to minus F3. Therefore, if we change the magnitude and direction, AD means DA is equal to F3. That only we have to prove. Okay, girls. Next, you see the theorem. If you have any doubt means you comment on our classroom. Next, what we have to see means theorem. Next theorem, parallelogram law of force. First, we see the definition for this. If two forces acting on a particle O are represented in magnitude and direction by the two sides of the parallelogram through O, then the resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of parallelogram through O. You see this diagram and you see the definition for this one. Next you see the theorem for this. Equilibrium of a particle under several forces. Now we have to prove the theorem. State and prove Polygon law of forces. You see the statement. What the statement is, if a number of coplanar forces acting on a particle can be represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of polygon taken in order, then they are in equilibrium. See what statement they have. If the number of coplanar forces acting on a particle, if you are taking a number of forces, not only 1, 2, 3, many forces. If the number of forces acting on a particle that can be represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of polygon. You see polygon, see the diagram, polygon taken in order, they should be in equilibrium. What we have to prove means F1 plus F2 plus, if for example, if you are taking as F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6 means if we add everything, F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 plus F5 plus F6 is equal to 0, we have to prove. you see the proof. We shall prove the theorem for 6 forces. Okay girls, so what the forces are? We are assuming F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6 acting on a particle can be represented in magnitude and direction. You can change that, you can take in magnitude and direction. So you see here we are taking F1, here AB is equal to F1, you see BC is equal to F2, CD is equal to F3, DE is equal to F4, and EF is equal to F5, and FA is equal to F6. You are taking in these directions. You see next the resultant is given by F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 plus F5 plus X6 is equal to AB plus BC plus CD plus DE plus EF plus FA. Okay, you know, but before theorem also AB plus BC is equal to AC and CD plus DE is equal to CE, and AB plus BC is equal to AC and CD plus DE is equal to CE, and EF plus FA is equal to EA. Next you see, if AC plus CE means EAE. The AE plus EA can change in magnitude and direction. So AE minus EA is equal to 0. Therefore F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 plus F5 plus F6 is equal to 0. The forces are in equilibrium. Hence we prove the theorem. Next you see, next theorem. Here fully named theorem Valima. All the theorems are important. You see, next, limiting equilibrium of a particle on an inclined plane. This is very important. State and prove Lamy's theorem. Very important, girls. Every time they will ask. So you see this theorem. State and prove Lamy's theorem. If three forces acting at a point are in equilibrium, then each force is proportional to the sign. Here sign is SIN, not SIGN. To the sign of angle between the other two forces. Here they have missed force. You write here between the other two forces. If three forces, for statement what they have given, if three forces acting at a point or in equilibrium, then each force is proportional to the sign of angle between the other two forces. Next statement, they will ask us this also. You can write this one. This statement you can understand easily. What if three forces acting on a particle are in equilibrium? Then what the sign, that is P by sin, what we have to prove, P by sin alpha is equal to Q by sin beta is equal to R by sin gamma, where alpha, beta, gamma are angles between QR, RP and PQ respectively. That only we have to prove. That is the Lamy's theorem. You see the proof. Let the forces P, Q, R acting at a particle O are kept in equilibrium. That means what we are assuming, P, Q, R, we are taking the forces as P, Q, R that are kept in equilibrium. That means P vector plus Q vector plus R vector is equal to 0. This keep it as equation number 1. What we are assuming, P plus Q plus R is equal to 0. We keep it this one as equation number 1. Then angle between them, you see the diagram, then only you can understand. You see the diagram. P, Q and this one R at a particle O. Here what angle here, angle Q O R is equal to alpha, and angle R O P is equal to beta and angle POQ is equal to gamma. You see the diagram, you can understand. Understand, girls? Angle between them, angle QOR is equal to alpha, angle ROP is equal to beta, and POQ is equal to gamma. Next, what you have to do, multiply equation 1, this one, no, P plus Q plus R is equal to 0, multiply by P. Equation 1 multiply by P. So, what you will get? P vector cross P vector plus Q vector plus R vector. See, if you multiply equation 1, what you will get by P? P vector cross P vector plus Q vector plus R vector is equal to 0. P, and next you see P vector. If we P vector multiply by everything here, for the result, for the equilibrium result, what we will get? P vector cross P vector plus P vector cross Q vector plus P vector cross R vector is equal to 0. We know that in magnitude P vector cross P vector is equal to 0. If it is P vector dot P vector means you will get 1. Here P vector cross P vector is equal to 0 plus P vector plus Q vector plus P vector plus R vector is equal to 0. Now you see what you are getting, P vector is equal P vector cross Q vector is equal to minus P vector cross R vector. You can understand this. Next, what we are taking modulus on both sides. Modulus of P vector cross Q vector is equal to modulus of P vector cross R vector. Here minus if you take modulus, this sign will be changed. So what you will get is equal to, always it will be in positive. Take the modulus means it will be always in positive. So what you will get, P vector cross Q vector is equal to P vector cross R vector. See here, you see we know that modulus of A cross B is equal to AB sin theta. This is one result. This is important. You take note for here. Modulus of A cross B is equal to AB sin theta. This is one result, ma. You note that one. So what you will get, modulus of P vector cross Q vector is equal to PQ sin gamma. Here you see PQ sin gamma. Here PQ sin gamma. What angle you are getting here means that angle you have to write here. So what you will get, PQ sin gamma is equal to PR sin beta. If we cancel PP means Q sin gamma is equal to R sin beta. Here see, it's Q sin gamma is equal to R sin beta. We can write it as Q by sin beta is equal to R by sin gamma. You keep it as equation number 2. Similarly, we can prove P by sin alpha is equal to Q by sin beta. You keep it as equation number 3. From 2 and 3, what you are getting? From 2 and 3, P by sin alpha is equal to Q by sin beta is equal to R by sin gamma. That is the proof for the Lamis theorem. You take the note 1 and note 2. What you are saying here, you just to see one glance, you see for notes. Just take note on for that. What note 1, see, if P is the midpoint of AB, then OP is equal to OA plus OB is equal to 2. What if P is the midpoint? You see the diagram. If P is the midpoint of AB, then OP is equal to OA plus OB divided by 2. Next note 2, you see. A by sin A is equal to B by sin B is equal to C by sin C is equal to 2R. If we take the triangle ABC, in triangle ABC, cos A is equal to the b square plus c square minus a square divided by 2bc, cos b is equal to c square plus a square minus b square divided by 2ca, and cos c is equal to a square plus b square minus c square divided by 2ab. That's all, girls. If you have any doubt, means you ask in and comment in our classroom, Google Classroom. Next problems we will see in next video. Thank you, girls.